Hello and welcome to your pre-match build-up of Arsenal against West Ham United. Team lineups 10 minutes away. So what we're going to do, we're going to take a look around the grounds. Well, we're not literally. We're going to give our predictions. We're going to have a little discussion, a 1 minute discussion on the fixtures this afternoon, because pretty much all of them impact us down at the bottom. Currently, as we speak, it's at Anfield. It's Liverpool 2, Bournemouth 1 after an early score, after Bournemouth took the lead early on in that game. Hoping Liverpool see this one out, Gonzo.
I am, but I'm watching it right now. It's behind you, so I'm looking at the screen. They've obviously Bournemouth scored a goal, and I thought it was quite a good goal as well. And having seen Bournemouth play more recently, Billing seems to be coming into it more. I think he's a good player. Something just happened.
Yeah, look at your replay. Watch your replay. Milner just cleared off the line.
I'm probably a little bit behind you because you're probably watching it on BT, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, it's crikey. What a clearance from there.
Okay, so it's still 2-1 clearly. A Billings coming into it more. I just mean last 2 or 3 games, I thought actually he started to look really good, and I think he is a good player. He's just a big presence, isn't he? And I think Bournemouth are starting to get a bit of their mojo back as well. So yeah, it is a worry, and obviously Bournemouth playing Liverpool at a time when Liverpool are not quite having a crisis, but let's say they're
a wobble.
A little wobble. Yeah, there we go. So I'd be good to see Liverpool win this, obviously. So yeah, hopefully they can see it out. But if, as you say, they're just starting to clear the ball off the line, then they might have a bit of squeaky bum for the next half an hour.
And to Selhurst Park, where Crystal Palace take on Watford. Watford obviously thumped Liverpool last week 3-0. Sarr's looking like the big player they bought. They spent their money on him, and they're getting the player, the big player that they hope to get. But they're starting to find a little bit of rhythm. And Palace stuttering to the finish line, if you like.
They are, but I mean, I just spoke about Billing coming back into it. I know he's a bit of a comedy player, isn't he, Christian Benteke? But I actually like him. I think he's a good player. The Aston Villa version of him was outstanding. Clearly he's struggling for goals, and it's easy to sort of mock people when they struggle for goals, and he's had injury, but he's a hell of a presence in there, and he does occupy more than one defender. He's fast and big, which is a rarity, and I think if he's playing, then they always do hold a threat. And actually I do think that front three of Zaha, Ayew and Benteke is okay, and if you've got a team as organised as Crystal Palace have, then they've got every chance of getting a number on Watford. Look, Watford look to be coming back into form. Watford have obviously lost Delafeu, who's a massive player for them, but Crystal Palace's captain Milivojevic, whatever his name is, he's been out of the team. He's ready to come back, but he might well stick with what he's got, because it's actually, I think they look all right at the moment, Palace. We'll have to see. We'll have to see what Watford do. But I don't think it's any certainty that Watford pick up 3 points here. Far from it.
What's your score prediction for this one?
So sorry, who's at home?
Palace.
I think it could be 1-0 Palace.
I think Watford will score. I think they'll score, and they're looking good at the minute. Deeney's looking good. Sarr's looking really good. They've got Will Hughes back in there, so when you've got him, it pushes Decore forward. I actually like Decore. It's almost like a fake number 10 he plays. He's not a number 10, but when Watford get the ball, it's very much you gallop forward, please. And I think he's good at that. I thought previous to Pearson coming back and doing that, I thought they tried to put him inside Capoue and almost restricted him too much. I think Pearson's took the shackles off, and I think that's a big player. And you need Will Hughes in there to allow Decore to go forward. So I'll go for 1-1. I'm going to write these down just to see how we get on. So 1-0 and 1-1. To Sheffield. Sheffield United take on Norwich City. Norwich are looking good. Obviously beat Spurs midweek in the FA Cup in the penalty shootout. How do you see this one going?
Yeah, I mean, Norwich look like they've had a shot of adrenaline. So there seems to be an upturn in performance as well. I just think they're so far gone. I think one more defeat will almost knock the wind out of their sails, if you know what I mean. It'll be a case of, we started well, then we dipped, then we've rallied again, but actually it's got us nowhere, and then you may well see another slump. I just think Wilder's too wily, if you want to be too concerned with whatever Norwich do. I like Norwich's manager though. I do think he's good. I think he's got lesser players at his disposal. If you remember at the start of the season, you brought it to my attention. It was Karen Brady wrote an article basically saying Norwich need to get out and spend the money, and I think quite brashly Norwich came out and said, well, that's not what we do. We don't spend money. I think maybe they should have done. Because actually, there's the players we know we like the fullbacks, like Aaron's in particular, and with the they've got a good striker, and Campbell obviously carries the ball really well and is an elegant player. Had they have spent 40 million and brought in a couple of 20 million pound players to supplement that, they might be further up the team. But Chris Wilder has spent money and obviously brought a player in that we were looking at, and he's as I say, he's a wily old fox. Don't think he'd be bothered. Sheffield United at home.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2-0 Sheffield United.
I'll go 2-1. I think Norwich City are looking punchy at the minute, but I do think there's now a point where it happens to all relegation teams that players start playing for themselves a little bit. It's a case of I now need to earn my summer move. I don't think Norwich City are there yet. They're still playing as a team. But I wouldn't be surprised at some point Buendia, Cantwell, Aaron, Jamal Lewis are all thinking, I want to be in the Premier League next season. I've had a taste of it now and I want to stay here. So I'm going to have to play really well so that someone comes and picks me up. 5 minutes till the team's out. I mean, it's good news for West Ham fans. Let's put it that way. But we'll wait for official confirmation in 5 minutes. Southampton, Newcastle.
Oh, it's a tough one. Big journey for Newcastle, actually. Big journey. I think Southampton win this, actually, Geo. I know their home form's not been as good as their away form. Obviously, I know we beat them away last week, of course. Newcastle struggling for goals a little bit, Geo. That being said, another player I like, and I know, again, he's been much derided, but I look at him, I think, actually, there's a player there, is Almiron. As you know, I do like Almiron, and I thought there was a bit of life in him in the previous game. I thought he was looking quite busy, looking quite dangerous. That being said, I think old Hassan Hutel will see that as a bit of a setback, and he'll probably be saying to his players, look, let's not go to the end. Let's get safe and let's do it early, and then he knows he can start planning for next season. I do think it's a long journey. I do think there's something in that as well, travelling. Travelling half the length of the country. It's going to take it out of you with the travel. Maybe even 2-0 Southampton, maybe.
I've gone 1-0 Southampton. I don't think Newcastle can score. I know they've hit the net a few times midweek in the FA Cup, but I actually think that could almost damage them a little bit. I think it's what I call false confidence. It looks really good on paper, but actually doesn't really tell the whole story. The whole story was before the FA Cup, where they went 4 Premier League games without scoring a goal, and that is not good. I always say to Gonzo, a team that doesn't score goals is in trouble. Doesn't matter how good your defence is, you need to score goals. I would much rather have a team that can score but concede a lot than one that is good at keeping clean sheets but they're just not scoring, because you can still go down. And I think Newcastle lose today and results go against them, they're getting dragged right into this relegation zone. I got on them at 7-1 to get relegated last week, so I'm hoping they get beat today and us and maybe another team round about them pick up some points just to pull them right into it and say, right, come on then, you're down into this mix. I watched someone on Sky Sports earlier, and they were talking about what teams to go down, and they didn't mention Newcastle, and I think they're being missed out of the relegation conversation for some reason. I'm not too sure, and I think they're going to get a reminder today. I'm going for 1-0 Southampton. Wolves against Brighton.
I think it's a comfortable win for Wolves. I really do. They're such an impressive team. I don't think, maybe Brighton haven't won since in 2020. Maybe I heard that on the radio this week.
It really surprised me. They're dropping like a stone.
I think it's a comfortable win. I think you may even see 3-0 for Wolves there. Sorry, I'm actually betting. I thought while we're doing this, you know what? It wouldn't be horrendous if I got it all right, and then somebody said to me on a video afterwards, "Oh, I can't believe it, Gonzo got it all right. Did you put a bet on it?" I was like, "No." So I'm actually I'm backing myself here. What did I say for I had Sheffield United to beat Norwich 2-0, didn't I?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I beat Southampton to win 2-0. Okay.
I've gone 3-1 Wolves. I think Brighton should score more than they are. I really like Neil Maupay. They were not unlucky against Crystal Palace. They were just wasteful. They had more chances than Palace. Yeah, Palace won 1-0, and Zaha missed a very open goal. It wasn't the greatest pass by Tosson, was it? He sort of gave it to him, who's out for the rest of the season, Tosson now, so that's a blow for Palace. But I think Wolves will win this. I think they're just in such a... I think they're the most confident team in the Premier League at the minute. I include Liverpool, City, I include every single team in this. I think Wolves are the team with momentum, the team with confidence, and it's the last team I want to be playing. Who's our next game after this one? Oh, crap. Alright, okay. Never mind. We'll worry about that next week, won't we? Right, we're not going to discuss any more games. We've got the only one we haven't discussed is Burnley Spurs. Doesn't really bother us at the bottom, and then Villa don't play until Monday night when they take on Leicester City. But the West Ham team, it's not confirmed yet. It's still 30 seconds or something. It's unchanged, Gonzo. Our team is unchanged. It's what we saw against Southampton, which is Fabianski in goal, Ngakia, Diop, Ogbonna, Creswell at the back, Noble and Rice in midfield. Depends how you want to look at how we set up again, but the other four are Fornals, Antonio, Alier, and Jared Bowen. Happy, Hammer?
Yeah, definitely, mate. Good news. Bench the same, I'll take it.
We'll get confirmation. I don't know the bench. We'll get that confirmation through in a second.
Your sources have not given you the bench?
No.
Oh, wow.
Slaven Bilic out.
That's
it's for people that don't know, it's a running joke. Sometimes I would tell Gonzo and that the team, and they would always joke it was from Slav. This is back from when Slav was here, so I still say it's from Slav. So Slav never told me the bench, but I'll get.
That's great news, mate. That's great news. I'm really happy about that. Actually, it shows a bit of intent from David Moyes, and unless he's going to do something, actually he can't because Masuaku's not in there, so he's not going to switch to a back three. He won't find Cresswell at centre half, so. That's great news. I just hope we take it too. I'm actually looking forward to it, Geo. I can't wait. You know, got the old man cave set up, mate. Got the recliner there. Put my dodgy foot up. Got the telly on the go. Still 2-1 Liverpool, funny enough. So brilliant. Really looking forward to that. I think we'll have a go. Have a go at Arsenal. Why not?
If that wasn't good enough news, here's even better news now. Souček is on the bench. West Ham's bench is Randolph, Lanzini, Zabaleta, Balbuena, Snodgrass, Anderson and Souček. A strong bench there. Lots of first team players. I mean, a month ago, half of that bench would have been starting for us. Balbuena, Zabaleta, Snodgrass, Anderson. Souček wasn't here yet. Lanzini arguably. Randolph was starting. We've got a lot of first team players on the bench today. But that first 11, it's made me really happy because I was a bit concerned. Not concerned. I thought he would keep it the same, but my only niggle was, you know, when we went to Anfield, we had the benefit of all the other teams playing before us. So we watched them all get beat 2-0 or 3-0. So Moyes went there thinking, you remember I said to you, we get beat 1-0, we've actually had the best result out of everyone.
Yes, you did, yeah.
We don't have that advantage today. Only Bournemouth playing. It's too late to change your team now because it's, you know, there's still 20 minutes to go and the team's out. So I did think, I wonder if that influenced Moyes against Liverpool, and I still think it did. But I think he's continuing now. He's found the formation he wants. I think he's now knows 9 of his starting 11. I think he's probably nervous about a couple of players in that starting 11. But he's giving them the benefit of the doubt. You won against Southampton. You keep your... This is a perfect team for me. A lot of people want to see Souček come in. I'm a bit... not wary. I'm a bit surprised at how quick he's back, if anything. So I don't think he's fully fit. So to keep him on the bench, I think is the right option. Delighted. You happy with the bench?
Yeah, I really am. I just hope he uses it, as he's not a great... I don't think he likes substitutes very much. David Moyes, I think if he could get away with his starting 11 finishing the game, you get the impression he probably would. But there's a lot of good players that can impact off the bench there, and I look at that and I'm pleased. Yes, I'm pleased about the bench. I'm pleased that there are players like Souček, like Lanzini, like Anderson that can come off and do that. We've got offensive substitutions that we can make, and what I do like particularly, I do like the fact that he's stuck with Fornals. He had to, so I think that's really good. It shows that maybe he hasn't got his favourites, and that actually he's open to a player impressing him. And if you impress him and if you do a job, you stay in the team. And you have to do that as a manager. You have to do that because that gives everybody else faith. That gives everybody else hope. That gives Sebastian Haller hope. Okay, I'm back in the team. So, okay, I get it now, boss. If I play well, I'm back in for the next one. Actually shows Felipe Anderson, right, okay, mate, you get a chance. You have to do something special, then make sure you're in the team for the next one, and so on and so forth. I really like it. I think it's good.
I think it's a bench for every situation. If we're losing, we've got Lanzini and Anderson. We're running midfield. We've got Souček and Snodgrass. We're winning, clinging on by our fingernails. While we don't want to switch to Violet back, we do if we need back B. We've got Balbuena and or Zabaleta on there. We've got players for every situation on that bench here. Now the Arsenal team, there's perhaps one surprise. Leno's in goal, as you'd expect. The back four and this is where the surprise comes. They've got Saka, Mari Villar, Luiz and Socrates, and it looks like Socrates is going to be playing right back, so there immediately that's your weakness there. It's almost a pity that we've got Fornals on the left. Now look at that team, because Socrates is slow, so the one thing you've got here is pace, and our player up against him has everything but pace. He's not slow, Fornals. I don't think he's slow. I just think he's average.
I think Antonio will pull up against him on the left. I really do, quite a lot.
Well, if that's the case, I'll be happy. I would like to see us target him. I wanted to see us target Luiz, but now I've seen Socrates right back. I'd like to see us go up against him. They're sitting midfield pairing our Rice and Noble. They've got Xhaka and Cabellos in there, and then Nikita starts up front with the three in behind him: Aubameyang, Ozil, and Pepe. Big players, big team, big threat, but a big opportunity to score against them.
Yeah, I mean, you read it out, they are really good for players, particularly that three behind the striker there. But it's fine.
I don't think it's as creative as it should be, though. I think they're better on paper than they are on the pitch.
Yeah, I also think two of those three can be bullied a little bit. Actually, I think they can be frustrated, and I'd not. Not to insult Ozil, he's a World Cup winner. He's not going to, whatever, he's probably in his 30s. He's not going to turn up at West Ham and find for the first time he gets bullied out the gate. He would have been having that since he was a kid. Big lumps, there'd be kids twice the size of him when he was growing up trying to push him off the ball. And so, he'll be used to it. That being said, if we're well drilled and we've got fight and we've got battle in us, I'm quite happy with particularly Rice, particularly Noble, particularly Antonio's will to win and desire, and I have real faith in a growing and developing centre half partnership between Ogbonna and Diop. I mean, Ogbonna's a really, really good player this season, a very good player indeed. So they got their own things to worry about. We're not going to be. I don't think we're going to be a pushover. I'm not looking at this thinking actually, we could lose 4-0 or whatever. I think but there would have been times earlier on in the season where I would have done and probably would have predicted that. Look, we've got to keep their front three quiet, but you know what? They've got to keep our whatever we want to call it, front three quiet, whatever shape you think we might be playing. They've got something to worry about as well. And Antonio and particularly Sebastian Haller, those two, are going to cause them problems because both of those guys are probably stronger than either of their defenders. So yeah, absolutely, bring it on.
Their bench, for anyone tuning in that's interested, is Martinez, Nelson, Willock, Bellerin, Lacazette, Guendouzi, and Martinelli. So big players on their bench as well. I think this could be a game of which manager utilises their bench best and correctly and first almost. Who blinks first?
Oh dear, we're in trouble then.
It's a bit of a strange one. It's a bit of a strange when they've got Bellerin on the bench and they're playing a centre back out of position against us out there. But I'm not too concerned. But my only concern looking at those lineups is still Saka at left back. It does concern me a bit. I've watched Arsenal enough times, particularly under Arteta, where they do come down the left more often. And the fact that they've got Socrates at right back, in my mind, means they're going to be coming down the left even more now, because they're not going to trust Socrates to get down and get the ball in. They're going to say, let's get out to Saka, let's get him down there. I think Bowen's in for a big game, a big test today, because he's got to get forward. And when we go forward, we need him there. He's got to be one of the three-prong attack. But when we get back, Ngakia needs help today. I think whoever's playing right centre mid out of Rice and Noble needs to be really switched on what's going out of that side, because it's going to be easy to get pulled out there, pulled out of position, but at the same time you are going to have to provide adequate cover as and when. Tough game for us in store. What's your final thoughts on? You've seen the lineups now, you're obviously feeling a bit excited, but
my final thoughts have actually moved away from that game to the Bournemouth game, which on my clock is 77 minutes. I'd worried about a Bournemouth last minute equaliser, although Liverpool seem to be having wave after wave of attack. This is an important result for us. I guess it's not as important as our result, because you win your own games, you're in control of your own destiny, particularly as we win all the rest of our games. We're not getting relegated, are we? So I just hope there's a positive message going out. I feel a little bit better. I think the away fans are going to be in really good voice. I wouldn't be surprised if we out-sing the home fans. And wouldn't be surprised at that at all. I think if we can frustrate them for the first half an hour, then that stadium's going to go really, really quiet. So, and we will get chances. This is not going to be one of those games where we look at the end of it and say, look, I'm saying to you, Gio, we've not had a shot on target all game, mate. This is no good. I don't think we're going to be saying that. So if we get chances, we just got to take them. They'll get more chances than us. We need a big game from Fabianski, big game from the centre-backs, and one of our front three or whoever has got to put our chances away.
Yeah, I think so as well. The good thing is we've got Antonio and Bowen there who are both fearless. They're both willing to shoot. There was an interview with Bowen during the week and he was speaking about how that's exactly what he is. He's fearless. He gets the ball, he wants to shoot, and if he misses, he'll try again. He's going to keep on trying. And he was basically saying, if I have 4 or 5 shots, as long as I hit target on a couple of them, hopefully score for one of them, I'll take that. And that's the attitude we need with them. We're going to be allowed to play counter-attacking football today. We are going to be allowed to play it. They're going to come in their numbers. We get the ball and we go forward. There's going to be space. Saka, while I'm concerned about him coming forward, the advantage is he comes forward. So we get the ball, there's a space out behind their left back. And it's about us utilising it correctly and efficiently. And that's what I saw against Southampton. I actually think this game suits our tactics more than the Southampton one because we'll be allowed to counter-attack a little bit more. It's just the only problem is the opposition has more quality than what they did last week, and we're going to have to be a bit wiser at the back. But I'm confident we're going to score, but I'm confident we're going to concede. Gonzo, can I get your score prediction? In the preview, we both said 2-2.
Yeah, I'll stick with a 2-2. Actually, it was very much when he said it in the preview with the hope and expectation that he'd play the same team. So I can't change it now. Now I've heard the team. That's what I hoped for. So yeah, let's go with it, mate. It's expected to line up from both managers, I think. There's no surprises from the Arsenal one. There's no surprises from the West Ham one here. Both managers have had enough time to get ready for this game. And I'm looking forward to it. I think it'll be a good game. If you're a neutral and you're wanting to watch one of those 3 p.m. games, maybe Wolves Brighton, but this is one I'd be tuning into because we've just gone through it predicting 1-0s and 1-1s or whatever. Come to this one, we're predicting 4 goals to get smashed in and an even game. So this should be the first game of match of the day tonight, I think, perhaps. Anyway, we're going to go. It's still Liverpool 2, Bournemouth 1 with 10 minutes to go. So fingers crossed they hang on and the results go away. Myself and Gonzo will be back straight after full time right here on this channel, hopefully discussing a good performance from West Ham. That's the main thing for me, a good performance. I'm going to stick with 2-2 as well. Drop a like on the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you're around here. I'll catch you in a bit.